How's it going, guys? GN here, and today we have a special treat for you here on Funker Tactical. We're actually at Doug Marcaida's home. In his garage, he's got a private training facility where he trains his private students, his friends, and people from all over the world come here to get top-notch, world-class training from one of the best knife fighters in the world. And basically, we're just going to give you guys a look as to what happens here in the dungeon. So let's go.
Hey. All right, so
first of all, thanks for allowing the Funker Tactical viewers in this place. What is this place?
This is my home studio that we built so that it's easier for me to be able to do what I do and test out what I do at home. So it's just an extension of my house.
Lighting's not great.
It's like that mood lighting.
Very few people have the privilege to be in here and train with you. What does it take? I mean, how do we get in here and get to train with you?
Well, a lot of the guys have pretty much gone through, I guess, calling me and constantly bothering me to want to do this. This is something of a passion we've done indoors. When I invite you to my house, it's a family because you've proven yourself to be part of the brotherhood. I am a product of backyard instruction, and I'm very proud to say I am a backyard instructor. And that doesn't take away from any big, large training facilities, but I've been able to develop a lot of the things with close-knit brothers who are not afraid to tell me, well, that thing you taught me didn't work. This thing you showed me, could you show me a different way to make it work for yourselves? You like it this way. This is the way I do it. Let's focus. This is the logic behind it. Do you have a logic that's separate from it? Okay, let's see it. Let's test it out now. Let's go. Bam! Did you make it work for yourself? Today we're going to do some knife work that we're going to be doing. We're going to work on some of the different principles based on some of the things we do in Kali. Right now they're doing similar high line attacks with this particular, we call ice pick or pakal grip, but we'll stop for a second. And we are also working on the theories of the impact trainer made by D-Max. So we're doing the same techniques that we go, bam, oh, it's already in what we do. So we do a lot of these techniques with our regular training knives. Anthony here will work on that particular trainer. I'll use this. See, so I see that, oh, I have the same thing with the D-Max Karambit. So he's using a regular trainer, I use the same grip. We're using the same particular technique that we're doing in here for training. So as we're working on the different features of this, I can see that there are similarities. Now all of a sudden, I start opening my hand. I start opening my hand. I start opening my hand. Now tell him, you do the same. Open. Oh.
He can't.
He can't.
I almost.
Exactly, right? So they go, ha! So there is one feature in here that is unique unto itself. I can do this. I can't do that. So as we're doing this, does it have the same ability to lacerate? Yes, it does. Same thing as the knife. Does it have the same ability, like what Anthony did, to control? It does. Same thing that we do with the knife. So in this particular training, we're able to do that. Jonathan will display the same training with Anthony, and they'll both go with it. Yep. Left hand up. Right. Checking. Side lacerations. And time. Good.
Could you take us through
some of the motions here?
Yeah, so, I think it's people need to, I guess, understand what's happening. Everything happens very quickly, very fast. So maybe
Jonathan will do it with the D-Max Karambit. He'll explain what he just did. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Just cutting, parrying, slashing on the inside, slashing on the inside, controlling, slashing. Hits ready.
He's on the spot.
All right, now can we take this down maybe 10 times slower and talk us through what you're cutting? Maybe that'll help.
What's going through your mind?
I don't want this to touch me. I want my knife to be in contact with him at all times. I can enter, encircle, stab, push, control, hook, block, push, hook, punch. All of this can happen.
It still looks very, very fast, even going at that speed.
So we'll relate that to a regular knife. So what Johnson says that he's able to use his fending hand to either jam, pass, control and hook, or jam and pass. At the same time, he's got the blade orientation here to when he's using the rings, he's using the impact side. He's in the impact side. If he uses the lacerating side, he uses the control factor to lacerate again and then cut. So in these flow of motions, you have the lacerations, the control factor, the backhand impact using my limbs, the blade, the punching of the blade. Because I can turn it into this or into that or into that. So there's a lot going on in this particular exercise, right? I'll feed Anthony. Anthony's turn to tell me what's going on. Yeah?
It's not really easy to talk and move at the same time, is it?
I don't know, it is to me. So you were saying?
We're controlling.
Yeah,
hooking,
you're controlling, hooking, what else?
slashing.
Okay. What's your left hand doing?
Left hand is
Jamming.
jamming. Left hand it could pass the outside. This is what we call flow drill. It's just we get into a flow. It's very almost zen-like. You know, we can just take our time with our motions, and we can really see what we're doing. We can see our insertions.
And that's the thing that I've been trying to tell people. It's not the violence in it. For example, in the flow of motion, I see certain clean lines. I see clean lines as I'm working with Anthony here. I see the flow of entries. I take the path of least resistance if I need to, over the top or under, or straight line across, straight line to the outside. And as I'm doing this, I get into sometimes, and I tell my guys, don't you ever get into a trance? Mm-hmm. Because in the motion here, and a lot of things I do, I try to put my mind in other places aside from what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm doing this drill with Anthony, and I'm still looking at the camera like, look, man, no hands. Right? So I'm using peripheral vision in here. But it is like a dance. It is the flow of motion. Same thing with the one working with Jonathan, the same ideas in here.
He was just ready for you, huh?
Well, we try to go pass along and, you know, just have fun because at any point I should be able to just work this piece in here. Then Anthony jumps in and plays with Jonathan. Jonathan goes in. And then we pick up where we left off. The whole idea about is awareness, right? So he may be putting this as one of the reasons to go, I'm always worried about that particular thing. So anything, whether it be with a blade or without that, I'd like to get out to the position so I can see where that particular, I'm creating space for myself. So in the awareness level, I'm always saying, tell people, own your space. Why are you so in a hurry to do this? So always hands in front. This buys me time to create that space once again. Buys me time to be able to draw.
Let's make the assumption that that's failed, that situational awareness for one reason
Has
or
failed.
another has failed. Let's make that assumption that you find yourself in this position.
Yep.
What's your quickest out?
My quickest out.
Quickest out. Like you just want to overwhelm him, trap everything. Yeah.
I'm just like,
I mean, I'm just right in here.
What?
Blade, but that's
did you
my
not see
quickest.
that?
No, I did not see that.
But no, I mean, no. Look, I'm always in this mode of what. Now, let's say I didn't have this. Did I have it here? People who carry are always checking. When it gets to a situation where you're crowded and everything else, you think these people aren't constantly seeing, how do I get to my weapon when you're carrying? Otherwise, why carry to begin with if you can't even get to it? So we've devised all these things of how to get to those carries, how to use things around me. In this situation, Anthony's got that. See, I don't like that hand. Automatically, I'll say, why is that not there? In the very same token, people who carry a lot. You think I didn't know? Anthony carries?
That is okay.
Right? I get the visual cues of carry. These are my visual cues. Do you know how to retain and protect your own particular carry? That's very important. People, I just have my weapon. Oh, really? Well, do you know how to protect it? Can you get to it? Is the most important thing. Can you protect yourself as somebody's trying to get to it too? Same thing as they teach when you're doing gun retention in law enforcement or other things. What do you do with your weapons being grabbed and how do you defend against that? Same ideas are put together for that. I just walked by and just looked at somebody and smiled at him, and this is one of those, we call them MHAs, and the guy just looks at me and was like, no. Next thing I know, I knew I had a bad feeling about it, and I just walked by and I kept looking, I watched it, I go, the guy make a beeline, go behind and start pounding on one of our employees, and it turned out he already had mentioned, I want to hit somebody that day. But because I made eye contact, where his predatory thing was not worth it, let's go to that person who's not looking over there. You have to understand the nature of predators. Predators will not risk getting hit. You know why? Because they're predators. Predators cannot risk getting injured because it is their way of life. If they risk getting injured, they no longer can survive. And this comes from nature. The maestro taught me that. Thank you, maestro.
So what do you look for in his body language? How do you survive this?
There's a book written by Gavin DeBecker called The Gift of Fear. If you ever get the chance, it's like the Bible for a lot of people who do a lot of VIP protection. The gift of fear is to bring you back to what we all have. He says that we have a sixth sense about all of us. A sixth sense to feel when something is sort of not right. You ever hear the word gut feeling? When something's not right.
Right.
We've learned to desensitize ourselves because of cell phones, what's going on over there, I'm too busy doing this, and we sense that too much technology has taken away from that. Whereas animals in tune with nature are always in tune with fear. They always know before you arrive, they can feel it. So once again, you want to go back to sharpening your skills of being aware. Awareness is a skill, it's a perishable skill. If you don't practice it and train it, you will lose that ability to be aware, to hone it. You gotta keep it sharp, just like a knife, all the time, and be aware and be prepared. In this day of violence, you have to be vigilant about you creating your own and honing your skills to protect yourself. Don't depend on other people to do it for you. You gotta do it for yourself.